And now, with his explanation of the national debt, here's the man who puts the stuffing in Get Stuffed, Jock McBile.
On Monday, Paul Martin brings down a budget that he hopes will reduce our debt. Forget it, Paul. The only way we can cover our national debt is for everybody in Canada to die tomorrow and leave their RRSPs to the government. We'll get the government out of a hole, even if it will put us down one. Now, how do we get into this state? Well, Jock's going to tell you. Our story opens in 1968. We got a bachelor prime minister, draft bear is 25 cents, and the national debt is about 17 billion. At that point, if we all chipped in $800 a head, we could have nipped that in the bud. Now, by 1973, it's more than doubled to 40 billion. And a few have started to point this out, but Trudeau's not taking that lying down.
This is what I call the politics of fear, the conservative politics. We're heading for the hungry 30s. Why say that?
Well, maybe because it was true. Only we'd be calling them the hungry 90s. Now, in 5 years, the debt has jumped 50% to 60 billion. And then in 1979, a saviour appears. Now, let's see what he has to say on the deficit he has in mind.
It will be a different kind of deficit. It'll be a stimulative deficit that will cause people to go out and do things.
Aye, like go out and vote Trudeau right back into power. Now, when Trudeau comes back, he starts making all the right noises.
But I realize that these new policies must not be financed by increased government spending.
Oh, great. Good planning, lad.
We shall be proposing reductions in both our expenditures and in our taxes.
Oh, a way to go.
The rule of the government will be deliver more for less.
Fantastic. Especially from the man who took the debt from 17 billion to 170 billion.
What an incredible distance we've traveled together.
You can say that again.
What an incredible distance we've traveled together.
No, but in 1984, the deficit is up to 200 billion when in rides the White Knight.
I think we have to exercise an unprecedented degree of prudence and frugality in the use of taxpayers' money.
No, doesn't that sound good? Now, I want you to listen to what Mulrooney says about the debt while you watch what he does about it.
We have placed on the backs of Canada's youth, your kids and mine, a mortgage so big and overwhelming that not one of them is young enough to live long enough to begin paying off the interest on the debt. I say that's unfair to young Canadians, and we must assume our share of responsibility by dealing with that deficit burden right now.
In politics, that's called not letting the left hand know what the right buttock is doing. Nevertheless, I'll say this for him, he always had a sympathetic ear for his critics.
And if they've got some better ideas, they can bloody well tell us what they are.
Well, we bloody well did. You bloody well didn't listen, which is why today you're bloody well an outcast. Now, for the last 18 months, we've had Creighton and the Martin Show, and that deficit has not slowed down. It's now 550 billion. That's $18,500 per person. And if you add in provincial and city debt, it is $74,000 per person. Now you say, is there any good news in this, Jock? And I'll say, aye, it's Canadian money.